And, oh yeah, there's, I wasn't even counting you two at the bottom because I didn't see your picture, sorry.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and get rolling. I also apologize because if I wear a mask, my glasses fog up, but then I can't see with the glasses, so.
Same boat.
This is just gonna be really scattered.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're starting off with approval of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes?
I move we approve.
All right, Marilyn moved, Patrick seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make your hands happy at this point. No, okay. All right, we will put those on as approved. So moving on from there, we have an update on the Douglas Hill redevelopment.
Not really, I just wanted to make sure you knew if there's a planning commission meeting next Monday.
Okay.
If you guys all wanted to attend that,
What time?
7, it's at 7. You can attend, I think, the same way. Check the website to make sure, but you can also do the Zoom. And I believe this one, is this the one where they've had 2 already or just 1?
They've had 2.
They've had 2, okay.
And he presented, Larry, ST Collaborative presented it at the last meeting. It still showed the sculpture garden wound into the development. Sorry.
So this will all still be accepting public comment, because I'm assuming. The last one they didn't, just so they could get the presentation finished, but yeah.
And you
So-
can see the last one on.
Yeah, there's a YouTube, and then there's, I don't know if we put the recording up, but there's,
And
it's
that's
on
on,
YouTube.
and that's on the City Hall website. Okay.
And can you send out if anybody's interested?
Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned. There'll be a Zoom link if anybody wants to actually attend that meeting virtually or in person.
If you're concerned about saving the sculpture garden, please make that comment somewhere along the way on one of those comment forms. Because otherwise, this wild and right into the
I'm sorry, if we could speak up a little bit in the room.
Yes, microphone's right here.
We can all yell at the middle of the table.
No, just a little bit louder than what the mayor was just talking.
The mayor was trying to be quiet about
She was
it.
trailing off.
Oh, okay. Intentionally, okay.
It's working great.
What do you
Let's
mean,
keep
Don?
this
Can't you see
forever.
who's talking?
All right, well, moving on to happier subjects. A quick recap of the Borough, which I think most of us were there. It was amazing. Do we have a rough estimate? Do we think it has to have been a couple of hundred?
Oh, no,
people?
I think it was probably closer to 400.
No, it was more.
Okay, then more, because I was thinking, could you put all these people in the Sheldon? And they would probably fill the Sheldon, which is like 700
It was
people.
wonderful.
It was more, it was definitely more than 400 people.
There was a whole crowd across the creek.
That was what was
Yeah.
funny to me, was to be
Oh.
facing the stage and watching the people fill in on the other side of the creek. That was marvelous.
And that is exactly the prototype, the model for encouraging other people who have an idea in the community and put it together and need a little help, which the art commission can provide. And that's just a great way for like the city to be getting more bang out of the art commission and more art in the city. Because this is such a city of personal, private initiatives. It just need that little extra bit of help. Just like further on the agenda, we'll be talking about the concert on the 28th. It's the same kind of thing. This seems to be taking off, and it's a very good thing.
So yeah, so I know Walter and Margot were very pleased with the event as well. And I know Walter has already started making plans to, I think he was talking about a Roots Festival was the next one. And so I think stay tuned and we'll hope for bigger and better things.
Yeah.
It'll be hard to get bigger, really.
And maybe for future, we should start getting involved or get Dave Yates involved since he's there and did most of the background.
Yeah.
And he
he's an artist background. I mean, it would be kind of, so for the future.
Yeah.
Fact, even for the Webster Arts.
And many thanks to whoever it was who got the t-shirt on the phone. Was that from you? I wasn't expecting that.
I wouldn't either.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so does anybody have any other comments about Mural?
Great
I
publicity.
guess I'm looking up at the screen, looking for the promotion.
The Arts Commission did send a note.
Yes.
Do you know that?
To actually do that.
We couldn't hear that.
A note from the Arts Commission thanking the arts would be a great idea.
Does that officially come from City Hall or can I do that? Or how do you do that? I can do that. All right, I will.
It would be kind of cool in City Hall letterhead. Wouldn't it?
All right. I know where they live, but I'm not 100% sure I know their exact street address. We can look that up. We'll work that out. Okay, so moving on then to the Barbary Park lighting. I saw there was nice coverage about it.
Was it nice of them? It was beautifully put together. It was a nice night.
It was a nice night. We had great music.
Oh, it was fabulous. Yeah, it was wonderful. And the lighting was great. It actually lit up, which we lit up the sculpture garden. It wasn't quite as obvious, but yeah, it was great.
All right. So moving on from there, I think, do we have an update on the piano festival?
Jerry and Judy of the Masons and Mike Silverman and I are meeting on the 9th. That's this coming Monday. And we're going to just work out just confirm that everybody's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And we're on for the 28th. I believe we're on for 6 to 9. We altered it just a little bit. I think Mike's request. Mike is still tweaking some of the music acts. I believe that there's the publicity to be done. I believe his wife is going to make signs, and we'll do the usual. If we do pretty much follow the formula that we did the last couple of times, I think we'll be in good shape. We're not expecting, nor do we want 600 people there. So there's going to be food and ice cream because the Masons and organizations like Mural, it's an opportunity for them to make some money. So it should be a lot of fun and just kind of a cool evening of sitting next to City Hall and enjoying some music, piano music.
It is also the third gazebo artist fair.
Same night.
Same night, essentially the same time. I'm wondering if there's a way to capitalize on that instead of, for those who haven't been paying attention to the what Webster Arts is up to, they're going to be trying to do a series of 3 little mini artists markets at Gazebo Park. The 14th, 21st, and 28th of August in the evenings. There'll be an opportunity to come. There'll be about 15, 20 artists will set up tables just for the evening. But I'm wondering if there's a way that we can make this be an evening of the arts in Webster rather than like.
Since that last one is on the same night as the Piano Fest, I'm sure we could put up signs down at the gazebo telling them, and then when they're done, they come down here. Because it's going to coordinate at the same hours.
Wondering if there's a way we can increase attendance altogether rather than splitting up our population.
In terms of this, I'm thinking just selfishly, as far as losing audience, it'll be the third one. So, you and I are participating in the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the third one, it might start getting a little, not tired, but I'm glad we're not competing against the first one. And maybe the way to look at it is just, it's City of the Arts. There's a lot of stuff going on. Things are going to compete when there are only so many weekends in the summer.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, probably the only people that are going to be there from what was it, 6 to 9?
Are the
down
artists.
there, are the artists. And I think we've only got 15 so far, and the idea is we want to have 20 for each one. That's only 20 people. So instead, what we should do is promoting the piano concert while we're down there. And that way we'll get more people. Of course, I know we're gonna get a lot of people.
I think it's great that we have competing arts events. I think it's wonderful.
Well, what I'm wondering is if there's a way we can figure out to market it to people outside of Webster, to say, come to Webster and do it all, as opposed to taking the Webster population and sending it to different churches.
Well,
We'll work it out.
I'm sure Mike Silverman has all his contacts. And I'm thinking, look at how well the Baroque thing went. What was there, how did they market? If we could do almost the same thing
Holy cow,
to
they
get
were
more
everywhere.
people in this town.
They
Well,
were in
once-
the Riverfront Times.
Yeah, and once again, like all of these artists, like Back to the Future and the Baroque people, they've got these incredible networks.
Yeah.
And we owe a lot to the musicians and their networking. People follow them very closely.
So it's an August arts event,
Yes.
or August arts evening.
Yeah.
I know you end August on a big art note.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was a big note,
That's,
August art.
that's what I'm thinking too.
Okay, so who's the artist that can draw that? Just a big art note for the end of August.
Grand finale.
The
Yeah,
grand finale of August.
Encore.
All right. All right, well, Patrick, I guess keep us all posted then as you guys meet as. to
Yeah, I mean,
how-
it's gonna be pretty automatic from here on out unless we want to do something like have an arts. Well, it'd be wonderful if we could do the entrance thing like we did before. Do we want a table where we, an arts commission table? I think
We've done that, and I don't think there's much.
there wasn't that much.
Well, the thing is, people are afraid to walk up to tables.
Well, let's just every once in a while have somebody go to the microphone and say, hey, this is being put on by blah, blah, blah. So I think that's enough.
Your turn.
Nah, Mike does a pretty good job of it.
Okay.
Well, we could attach the name maybe to Piano Fest. And have them put it somewhere on the poster.
I think we're officially sponsoring, right? Did we vote on that?
Yes.
yesterday?
Oh,
We
wait,
should be
Webster.
listed on, I assume we're listed on there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, it's an arts, it's our event.
Do we need a permit?
Probably I need to look at it.
And then, oh yeah, we got the porta potties. Sure, we'll take it all of that at the meeting.
So let us know how that goes. If there's anything.
Okay.
We'll jump in.
I'd like to work with Jennifer for name tags. If we're not doing T-shirts or anything, we'll make sure that everybody has a name tag from the Arts Commission. I think, Lauren, you had worked on some creative ones one year, but we'll see.
We still have the T-shirts with City of the Arts.
I feel like we should wear those City of the Arts t-shirts,
Yeah,
We can do that too. Yeah.
but I love the idea of name tags.
I wear
too.
my number 5.
I would be happy to make name tags again for those who didn't save that piece of art.
I'm in my office.
I can
That would be awesome. And maybe something more permanent. We've always talked about it and we tried the plastic.
I think we should do that. I don't know about it. I'll look at
All right. Well, moving on from there, I know Beth has been doing amazing work on pulling together this walking tour. So Beth, I don't know if you want to update a little bit on her.
Yeah, sure. So I could just give a brief update. So we met maybe a week ago, a few of us, with some providing kind of the progress that they had outlining some of the art in the city with descriptions and a little bit more detail, digging up some more detail where we could find it. So at this point, I guess my directive is I'm still gathering all that information that people have given me. And I think there's maybe a couple people who still have some things maybe they're working on, and trying to get it into a format that will work for the website to get that posted. So Jennifer, I'm probably going to be reaching out to you with maybe some samples of like a couple of the pieces to see, just to make sure that that's going to work for the content management system of the site. and figure out what else we can do to kind of make that easy for you all to post. And then we've kind of talked about the fact that once we have actually the content created and photos and know what we still need, then we can move forward and figure out the best way to use it and kind of develop it into a tour that makes sense, or a couple different ones or whatever makes sense. But first, just getting that content established, making sure that it's easily accessible is kind of the first step. So we're still working on that. The other thing that we had talked about was creating a landing page that would talk about public art in the city. And with that, kind of developing almost like a mission statement of what we hope to achieve with art in the city. And I'm happy to kind of flesh some of that out, but I would love some help on that too, because I know you all have been more intimately involved with creating kind of the plan to of where to put art and how we want to focus on it and what art we want to select. So I think I had talked a little bit too with Judy about maybe working on some of those bullet points so that we have kind of an introduction, and then we go into a slideshow of some of the key pieces in the city, and then we have a list at the bottom where you could then link off to each piece with a little bit more detail and a photograph. And so then from there, we've established the content so that we can use it in multiple ways, if that makes sense. So still in progress, but getting closer.
Well, thank you so much, Beth, for spearheading that. And yeah, I'm thinking Judy and Don too, you guys would have that background. I know we had what was the map with the nodes and axes or?
Artways.
Artways, yeah. I mean, it seems like all of that exists if we don't have to reinvent that wheel if we can get you guys thinking back in the past about where this all started.
Yeah, but absolutely would would love to help with the mapping and anything that helps structure it. That'd be great. And Beth, I did want to say too that I recently reached out to Melody Evans, and I know you all would appreciate hearing about our conversation, because Melody's going through some treatment. I don't think she would mind me telling you that she's had some health issues, but she's in good spirits. She's been taking care of her ailing mother as well. But it was great to talk with her and catch up. And Beth assigned me their pieces at the rec center. So I was able to talk to Melody about that, her and her brother-in-law. But she's doing well. She's going through some treatments right now. So if anybody wanted to reach out, I'm sure Melody would love to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you for that update, Don.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so are we all set on the walking? All right, well, moving on from there, then I guess I kind of lost track of where we are on the signage. Were we were going to ordering things?
We needed to talk to Yvonne still. Okay. And I hadn't gotten a chance to do that. So that will next meeting hopefully.
So I guess we will
September.
put that discussion for September. Let's see if we can. So moving on from there to the discussion about the lifetime achievement in the arts. And I think we were all part of this, which I think probably wasn't supposed to be an email conversation about the fact that unfortunately our recipient, Stephen Wolf, passed away a few weeks back. And we have never awarded one of these posthumously. Aren't there eyes? Oh, did we?
Yeah, we have the first one.
Very first year.
I think that this would work better than some posthumous awards where the person had been gone for a while and was not necessarily associated with an organization like the REF. I mean, there is such a community of admirers and colleagues.
Yeah, it's such a huge part of that.
That you tap right into the REF around David, and you've got an automatic community of people who are going to be eager to take part in this. It's not like a writer or someone
And they know how to give a presentation.
True. This is important.
These are showbiz people.
Right.
When the Fuses did it, and who unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just so professional, so wonderful. Well, he's not with the, that was with the Opera Theater. He's not with the Opera, he's in DC now. Kennedy Center.
We're gonna want to do them all posthumously after this.
I think people would start to notice. Our recipients. would
I'd love to
start
have the award, but I hear you gotta die.
So I guess we need to report, I don't know who to contact, like, where do we go to schedule that? I mean, do we just pick a date or do we? have a date?
Or we're gonna have to work
We
through
have to
someone.
work
Would that be
through
Mark?
I think Mark, I would think he's here.
Do you want to do?
I can do
I
it.
think you have
mean,
better-
I have a good relationship with him.
And then I would love, once you started, maybe we could kind of work together on it.
Yeah.
Because we both have worked on these things over the last few years. And
We should find a date or a couple of recommended dates.
Hadn't we come up with a couple last time? It seems like
are we looking at this?
We
fall?
had last time said, like, you gave us a range
October.
of mid-September to mid-November.
Yeah.
Mid-September is like too soon.
Yeah.
No, it's way too soon.
And mid-October is pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like either like maybe sometime in November, even though we're getting into the holiday season, or just January.
We need to talk to the rec, if we're doing it at the rec center, we're gonna need to talk to them about dates.
Would it be crazy
They
to
don't
think
have
about doing it at the rep?
dog training.
Would that be
Oh,
crazy?
You don't want to be in the next room from the wall.
Oh, believe me, I've been there and it's
They do,
terrible for everyone.
they do have a, well, how many people? do you
It's harder to do at a location that isn't ours,
Okay, then never mind. Yeah.
I think.
We love the way the rec worked. It worked so well.
Well, I think you should be talking to the people at the rep and see what they want to do, because there might be somebody there that
They may have something already
they
in
might
mind.
have an idea, like maybe they do want a lot of people to come, and then maybe they would want it in the theater.
But I agree with you, however, I think that we ought to have a good, firm idea, so that this is our event, and we're in
Okay.
control of it, and then bring it to the rep for their feedback and tweaking.
Okay,
Well, I don't think we want to hand this event over to the rep.
I think we should talk about doing something at the rep, it was really expensive.
Well, no,
Because
if we were to do it to rep, they'd have to give it to us for free. That's the
right,
deal.
that's what I was thinking.
That's the deal, because we're honoring their guy. So, and if they don't want to give it to us for free.
Party at your house, we need to pay for
So here's the deal, they give us everything we want, and there won't be any trouble. I like.
Shouldn't you Do we really want to speak to? I mean, in terms of trying to figure out a date, what the program should be, because that will be critical to have those people available as well.
Well, we just have to work together, that's all.
Maybe the rep would be interested in, at its own expense, putting together a video or something on David, or a presentation.
Steven.
I mean, Steve.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, to Jennifer's point, if we wouldn't do better to start by finding out what.
Yeah,
days
that's
we-
really gonna
yes,
be.
And then we can offer
Yes,
those dates.
I have
to
been on the
rep.
wrong end of the dog training next door
Yes. And they're quite
multiple
noisy.
times and it is very unpleasant.
They are quite noisy. So I guess, are we?
I had no idea what you were talking about. Like, what?
It has happened for multiple events.
So Friday nights towards the end of October, early part of November, here are you?
Yeah, I'm looking at dates. Looks like November 5th is a lovely day.
Oh, can we burn it down?
Remember?
Is that
November
my
the fifth,
birthday?
it's nearly November the fifth.
Yeah, I think-
Sorry, little
I think
British
that's
humor.
what we should look at. And I would not want, I don't think we should go beyond. well, November. It's not the holidays.
Yeah. Well, I'm even wondering if we can back it up to the last week in October.
That would be great too, October 29th.
That's, a lot of people are gonna have Halloween stuff, if that's the Friday before Halloween, I think that's just gonna be rife with Halloween parties that nobody's gonna.
Well, how do we, I mean, we don't know until we ask about the rec center schedule, but I'm thinking, how do we feel as a group about shifting off of Friday night if we can do Thursday, November the 4th,
That's a
instead
good
of,
day.
Why not? Yeah.
Thursday would probably be better for them.
well, I guess,
Of course, if you had it just before Halloween, they can all come in costume.
well, it would be very appropriate for a theater
Sure.
person.
Always thinking,
And all
always
come
thinking.
dressed as a character from some play.
Everybody could come as their favorite character from one of the films.
There you go.
That could be fun, actually.
Stella.
Let's do that Thursday before Halloween.
I will,
Phantom of the Opera.
I will be scout as the ham and
You know, excuse me,
Oh, there you go. I'm-
Okay, John's waving his hand. Yes, John.
I was just wondering if if it would be important to make part of this, Mr. Wolf would have received this award last year had it not been for COVID. So us giving it to him posthumously is so proper, because it was basically his. We voted it for him last year. And that's the only thing that caused us. Now, I don't know how that works in, but possibly in our discussions with, the rep, this isn't something we just kind of hopped on because it's, an important person that we lost.
People should know that. Yeah, that should be part of the presentation.
It's just a delayed reception. It's
That's a
not
good point, yeah.
Delayed awarding. Yeah, no,
we'll
I
put up
agree,
old
John.
copies of the minutes.
Yeah,
So that they can
That's
see.
right. I'm sure we have it recorded because it was all on Zoom, right?
Oh, well,
So I guess let's find out sort of the last part of October and the first 2 weeks of November, if there's any available dates. Jennifer, are you okay doing that? Or you want me to call?
I'll check.
Without dogs.
No dogs.
Without dogs, yes, please.
Dogs.
No ice skaters.
A Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah. I feel like a Thursday is probably gonna be booked.
And then we'll bring it up with Mark.
And then we can talk, once we get a date, if you don't mind, then we'll go and talk to Mark first.
So we can have a meeting and talk about some of these things like the presentation, if they want
Yeah.
to do it. If they want to put something together with all of their photos and images, they could probably do a lot of the work for us.
We should give them that opportunity. to Do all the work for us.
I think they'll appreciate that.
I know they will appreciate that.
I have to confess, planning events for fall makes me really nervous. Just because,
And that is the thing, I mean, again, here we all sit, like, we finally got approval to meet in person, and then the Delta variant took off, and now we're. But we've already been 2 years on this, so.
yeah, and that's the reason I think it's good to like keep it with where we don't have to pay anybody to use space or use up, like if we're using our own stuff, it's a lot easier to cancel and do what we need to do.
Well, I mean, we can't tell from here, obviously, because it changes day by day, but what if we had it at the rec center on their, they have a patio area outside the.
Well, and it depends on the weather too, because it's when it starts getting cold.
Yeah.
I mean, the outside is real,
That would
it's
have
like
to
the
be in
entrance.
October.
The entry is really the only outside area.
Yeah, I've never been there, that's what I think.
And depending on what the county's policies are at that point, I mean, our own policy could be, if you're vaccinated, great, if you're not, wear a mask. People will pay or not pay attention to that, but at least we can have a sensible policy towards it. I
Well, it'll
mean,
be whatever the city's policy is.
Well, that's what
And
I
whatever
think
the
it
rest
will.
is policy.
We'll have, we will be told what our policy is.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Someone else is doing that work for us.
in charge of policy.
All right, well, we will, I guess, then press on in good faith and in hope and see where the fall takes us. Am I seeing any more hand waving? All right, so I think that brings us along to the railroad trestle mural, which is there forward progress on this, or is this?
We had wanted to discuss it and then talk about having somebody from the railroad meet with us. But I think we need a lot of discussion before.
We've done all the groundwork. I mean, all we need now, I guess, is to
And then it's
contact
got
somebody.
to track.
Yeah, I don't know where anything is on it.
Put your mask back on.
I would throw out a better choice.
is possible. The Missouri Municipal League Conference is in St. Louis this year. It's possible that the railroad folks might be here. And if we could manage to get a meeting with them
Wow.
while they're here, that would be, because
Show them the trestle, show them the artwork.
yeah,
So-
because Ben Jones is the one who used to be there, so he's back, and let's see what we can find out, because if they're gonna be in town, their office now is in Omaha or somewhere. If they're gonna be in town, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least do a drive-by. It seems like we were gonna work on pulling that together again
Yeah.
too. John, you were gonna resurrect the images that you had created, and I'm trying to remember even where we left all of that, because we had some numbers, but they were outrageous. What would we need to have in hand?
The artwork.
Yes.
I think we've got everything that we need to finish them. I mean, at some point or another, we're gonna need some money, but
Well, and that was because John had started looking into prices, but I think it was so outrageously expensive that we had.
I wonder if they'd be willing to throw a little, when we bring it up at the meeting, if they would be willing to throw in a little bit of money to alleviate an eyesore in our community.
Yeah.
I had,
Rule out painting was, I mean, because the expense was in the panels that but it will not be possible to paint, I mean, doing a scaffolding or something.
That we don't know. We don't know any of that until we talk.
right,
Right.
the
But that might be
panels would,
We have different options, though.
the panels would probably not occur because you would have to actually apply something onto the trestle, and that's what supposedly they would never allow. So painting would be the way to go. You know, but I think that is if, not for me, but supposedly for, you know, a muralist and that, something like a sky is fairly fast to do. You know, they can do it real quickly. It's a formalic thing. So that's why I thought the present design just loans itself to a quicker painting. And again, I've never done it, so I don't know. I've just talked to people that have done it. And that would lend itself to a faster application of the paint. But that trestle, the painting on it is terrible. I mean, you couldn't do anything without it, without cleaning it off. You know, it's just shredded. So
Yeah, that's-
Does anybody know anybody in Maplewood where they painted their bridge? I mean, it's not a
Maybe our
rail,
commission, if there is one, right
it's
now.
not a railroad bridge, but it's a
It's a painted bridge.
painted bridge.
You might be able to really clue us in on some of the technical.
That is a railroad bridge. That's the metro
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, but it's.
yeah, and I don't know if that's painted or application to that. You know, like a vinyl application to it. It's just like, basically like paint, but that's put on with a heater in sheets.
You're talking about the Maplewood.
And
Bridge.
that could be another thing that if the trestle was cleaned, it might be a thing that you could do that in those panels, you know, paint the trestle and then put the sky or whatever design we came up with within those panels, like a framed, you know, I think that could work out really nice too. Whatever would be in there.
Somebody should talk with the Maplewood folks and the Great Rivers Greenway folks who've been painting stuff over highways for a while now.
I'm wondering if we make part of this presentation of the railroad, how bad the trestle is.
Oh,
You know, in
totally.
other words, other pictures of the paint all chipped and falling and, you know, the weeds, everything there that makes it almost look unsafe, you know, in a way.
It's definitely been neglected and
Yeah.
they should care.
And we could be doing them a favor. There's probably 40,000 of these across the country in the same shape.
Mhm.
And they could get some of this infrastructure money that's gonna come through maybe.
Well, does anybody have any connections in Maplewood or with the Great Rivers Greenway people, or I'll just start? Seeing anything else. All right, well, I will.
I'll try to call the Maplewood people. I don't have any connections, but I can start trying. I'll just call,
I was just gonna call City Hall.
that's what I was gonna do.
Who would I talk to?
There's city manager who had been there forever, Marty. He's probably the person who's starting.
Marty, and he lives in Maplewood, okay.
Marty from Maplewood. I'll bet you could Google that.
Marty in
Marty
Maplewood.
in Maplewood.
What's the city manager?
The manager.
I think it was
Marty,
Corcoran or
the
something,
manager of
right?
Maplewood.
Corcoran.
Corcoran, Marty Corcoran. Oh, you're good.
You know, it takes a village.
And he still lives there, whether he, I don't know whether they have a new city manager or not. This has been coming back and back. But he lives in Maplewood. He's a nice guy. Oh, so you want to take Maplewood, I'll take Maplewood.
He was a manager for 36 years.
Apparently you Google him.
Oh, okay, Marty Corcoran, okay, I'll try to call Marty Corcoran.
When people come up with these spontaneous facts.
I just go Corcoran.
You know,
441.
See, okay, Corcoran.
they'll know who you're talking about. I mean, he's honored by the
Okay.
city.
Yes, there you go.
Marty Corcoran, Maplewood, okay,
Are you okay giving them a call?
yeah,
All right, and I will call somebody at the Great Rivers Greenway.
yeah.
Looks like he's also the manager at Untitled Chapter.
Oh, there you go. He just manages stuff. All right, so we will carry on that and I guess report back. Is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up?
Judy?
Judy?
We skipped on the agenda signage.
We actually said we were gonna talk to Yvonne and we'll do that in September. So do you have anything you wanna update?
No, sorry, I missed that. So, okay, fine.
And we did kind of blow by it pretty fast, but we didn't see nothing, so.
I handed out the list of all the artwork that's in the city hall. And I gave this to Beth, so she could put that in for the walking tour. But this is the first time we've ever had a complete list of all the artwork in the city hall.
That's a lot.
Awesome. I do think that with that walking tour, I know the university here has said that they're working on getting their art cataloged and accessible online. I mean, I feel like this is a great time for us to get everything online, so we can sort of all interconnect together.
Yeah.
And let people know there's a lot to it. All right, well, I do have one other quick announcement in addition to the gazebo arts events. So there's something every Saturday in August, as it turns out. Coming up this coming Saturday, there's going to be a chalk festival along the street, sort of over by Breadco, that little thing that goes in front of You Can Do, which apparently doesn't have a name, between the parking lot and Allen Avenue. A professional street artist from Cape Girardeau is coming in to do something amazing on the street, and people can, for about $15, purchase a 4x4 section of the street and come in and do a drawing. There'll be prizes. We're encouraging families to take sections and bring kids. knows anybody who's interested.
When you get your chalk for $15.
Spread the word. It's large to bring your own chalk.
Bring your own chalk.
We may
Really?
have some available, but.
Okay.
um,
Yeah, that was confusing. I thought you did.
We will have some there, but.
Yes, in fact, I'm supposed to get some from Art Mart.
But people who do this professionally apparently like it. So,
You know,
I'm sure
since,
kids don't care.
since we're talking about this, we should do more things in coordination instead of competition with the Webster Arts Foundation.
Totally agree.
We should really combine all our efforts to really, show that we are the city of the arts. And this is a good thing, just helping each other.
All right, are there any other updates? Oh, I think this is a new record meeting. I think
September 7th would be
we've gotten through like in 40 minutes.
the next meeting.
Good.
I think everybody's bewildered by this mixed.
Are we good for September 7th?
Yeah, so is September the 7th good? for
It's the day
everybody?
after Labor Day, so.
Oh, yeah.
We'll survive. All right.
Well, people will survive, but everybody's gonna need extra reminding.
Yes.
We'll also be in bed.
Yes.
Um,
I'll have to do minutes Friday.
Yeah, we all do on Labor Day anyway.
Lamper. What do you do?
Clean the basement.
That's right.
Yeah, really.
Leave the garden. Are there any other, Jan is waving. Yes, thank you, Jan.
I wanted to check again about the Piano Fest. Did you say the time or did I miss that?
It's tonight, so people will probably be getting there earlier, but like the music should start at 6 and run till 9.
Okay. So what time should we be there? Should we be there a little early or?
I would come a little early, get something to eat, put your chair down, get a good spot. I would think that probably people are gonna start showing up around 5:30, 20 to 6. Even if nothing's going on, you'll see friends and get to sit out on the lawn chair on a nice day.
Yeah, they'll have their chairs out the day before, just like.
Yeah. But people will also be showing up at 8 and 8:30 and, so
We hope it's a nice night. We've lucked out on 2 events so far.
get there too early though and people put you to work.
That's right.
Or take your chair.
Yeah.
What day is that again? I think I'm
28th.
the 28th. Okay.
Will Garden Cafe have an outdoor concert that night, same night?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
So maybe we should check with them because they could just put a table out and sell food and not be.
Yeah.
Performances.
Say what? We
The Garden Cafe,
could put out food.
they could put a table out and sell food in their front.
Mhm.
They sell, they sell alcoholic and other beverages on Friday and Saturday. They have those free concerts.
So what should we do? We're having this?
Yeah.
Maybe we just want them to do their own thing and do like that. And if they've got a band that night, I just don't want to get into it.
Okay.
Can we get that announced on the city website too, do you think? Maybe on those scrolling events on the cover
I'll
page?
see if they can do something, yeah.
Well, I do feel like it would be nice to just let them know. Gary has been such a strong supporter of the poetry fund, but we should. Courtesy, we don't have to do anything about it.
I don't see them often.
Yeah, well, I can. We're definitely down. All right, any other business? Well, thank you all for your virtual and actual presence. And we will see what September 7th brings.
All right.
Here we are.
See everybody on the 7th. Well, it'll be probably before that,
Yeah, well, certainly the 28th, if nothing else.
28th, yeah.
All right,
Good.
Thanks, all.
thank you.
Hey, Carol.
Bye-bye.
I am really fond of Garden Cafe. We didn't